Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the garden. It's, as you can't tell by the tree here, it's pretty windy out today, so hopefully you can hear my voice. And it seems like the traffic is very, very loud, and it's a little ways away from our house, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. But this, I'm going to try to film a garden tour yet again. I filmed 2 tours, well, 3 tours altogether, and I've only been able to get 1 to post. There was an issue. Apparently something's going on with my GoPro that I usually use, so I had to wait till I can invest in a new camera. So hopefully we don't have the problem with this one anymore, or this one I should say. So a lot has changed since the first garden tour that is actually posted. So this is technically week 5. I had something about it because I had a week and a half that I didn't film due to a back injury, which I did explain in one of the other videos. So that might eventually still get out there if we can figure out how to fix the corrupted file. So anyway, I have had a back injury. I was down for a week and a half. Long story short, I didn't get out to do any filming. So it is June 14th. And stop thinking about day. So it's been, I think, well over a month since the last video that actually published. And now the neighbor's gonna go out and blow all of the grass clippings apparently off of his driveway. I give up. It's Monday, can you tell? Alright, so I'm gonna try to keep this short. Okay. I'm gonna try to keep it short for my videos. I don't know what to tell you guys. We're going to start over here. We have had a black snake and a lot of skinks in the garden this year. So if I scream, it's because they've startled me. I tried to scout out ahead of time to make sure that they weren't going to be, that wasn't going to happen, but it's nature. What do you do? Okay. So since the last time that you guys were here, we have harvested the garlic that was here. That I got it from Haas Tools. I can't remember which variety we had over here. We had 3 or 4 different varieties, but it did really well over here. I put it in last October. Didn't do anything to it. Like, I didn't even water it, just the rain. So we got some pretty decent bulbs. I'm excited. It's my first garden harvest, or my first garlic, real significant garlic harvest. I've grown a couple bulbs here and there, but we're gonna get a decent amount out. Hopefully you guys can hear me over all this noise, and I apologize, but this is the only time I can get out today, or this week, because it's supposed to rain, and I have a busy schedule. So here's hoping. Anyway, so that garlic looks really good. Got a decent harvest off of it. Some green beans that we've started harvesting. Those were just kind of thrown in as a filler. As you can see, the potatoes all the way down. They're looking really good. We did do a practice, or did a test poll last night of some. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, there I posted pictures on there of what we got. Some pretty decent sized potatoes. Obviously they're not ready to be pulled yet by looking at, and you see the plant. So we're gonna wait a while to pull the other ones. They're just kind of, like I said, I was just kind of testing to see, because we tried a new method where we just put the seed potato on top of the ground and covered it with straw. That's all I did. So it's doing pretty well, actually. Here is our mystery squash. It was a volunteer from last year. I am thinking it's a pumpkin, judging by the fact that, let me see if I can find it. I did find a little tiny fruit, but look how long it's gotten. I mean, it's like way down here now. There was, oh yeah, see, like this little, judging from that little fruit I found, I'm assuming that this is sugar pie pumpkin, which is the only pumpkin I grew last year. Potentially, maybe it could be an acorn squash, but I don't think it is an acorn squash. I'm thinking that's a pie pumpkin, which I'm good with because I like to make fresh pumpkin pie mix, so it works. We are going to trellis it up because, as you can see, it is drowning out this poor little pepper plant, and it's trying to go that way too. So let's pull him back here, back this way. We're gonna get a cattle panel arch and just kind of arch it up and over. These potatoes are gonna be coming out soon. I don't know, maybe we'll arch it that way into that bed. Not 100%, but we're gonna get one probably tomorrow night and get that up and out of the way, because I don't want to pull that up because it's a... You see the plane? So I think all the noise is gone for now. We'll see. As I was saying, we're going to try to trellis this pumpkin up one direction or the other. It might go to that bed. It might go to this bed. But I don't want to tear it out because it's a beautiful plant, so we'll accommodate it. So going down here, the Amish paste tomatoes, as you can tell, look how tall they're getting. They're getting huge. We have lots of fruit setting on them. You see here, those are some smaller ones out of there. I am glad that I went back to the Amish paste tomatoes. Hopefully the sun is not like blinding you. Let me see if I can, I don't know if I can walk backwards, guys. No, I'm squinting into it. Last year I tried Roma tomatoes and I just wasn't, I tried the Romas and I just wasn't. So last year I tried Roma tomatoes and I just was not happy with the consistency of the sizes and shapes. We were getting teeny tiny ones, and they just weren't uniform shapes. So I'm not like, it's not the end of the world, but it makes it easier when you're trying to figure out how, for canning purposes and stuff. Look at this rogue green bean. Can you see this? It's in here with the tomatoes. I'm gonna leave it. Let's see. You see it goes. It's a volunteer. It does not seem to be causing any problems with that tomato plant, or got something in my shoe, or anything around it. So I'm just gonna let it go. I need to come out this week and tie some of these up some more. I can't. You guys, it truly is Monday. It's been too long. So look at, like, here's more. Like, I'm just so excited about these tomatoes. I can't wait. So lots and lots of tomatoes. Amish paste. These are my yellow wax beans. They're looking really good. They're going to start on both sides here. A shadow out of the way. They're going to start latching on anytime now. I did. Okay, you guys can't tell me that I'm the only one that's a sucker when you go into a big box store and you see the teeny tiny little puny plants and you just feel that need to rescue them. I've done that like 3 times over the last 2 weeks. These were rescues from Walmart. I always have to go look to see what they have. It's just a compulsion I have. These are super sweets. They are marked $1.77 originally. Those poor things were such sad shape that they had discounted them already this year. So I grabbed 2 of them. I give them a better home. So I'm gonna. This is the Amish paste tomatoes that we have here. One on each trellis here. In the center, I've planted. Well, this is a Thai basil that's gone to seed. These are rutabagas all the way down. Look how huge. I hope the video actually picks up how huge the leaves are doing. Yes, something's chewing on them a little bit. I'm not super concerned at the moment. Might come out and sprinkle some DE on it. I try not to do that though. Sometimes things get chewed on and it's okay. I don't eat the leaves off of them. I'm not that worried about it. Look at this huge tomatoes. That's the Amish paste. Here is, we have pulled and we've harvested numerous heads of cauliflower. We have some more coming on. I'm hoping that before the heat gets too bad, that hopefully they can grow before the heat gets too bad. We'll have to wait and see. Cabbages, we're harvesting some as we use them right now. They're in pretty decent shape, so I don't want to just pull them all. These guys are forming heads finally, so that's exciting. I don't want to pull them all at once because we're not going to use them all at once, and I don't pickle them, so it just seems like a waste. That's why I don't plant a whole huge bed full of just cabbage. I don't want to waste the produce. So, oh, and then we do have the little jack-o'-lantern pumpkin in there. Good. It's starting to put off starting to set some flowers. So when it starts setting the flowers, then we will be opening up that part of it. We'll harvest that cabbage up to that point and open up that netting part so that we can let the pollinators get to that. You're gonna hear a lot of airplanes in all of my videos. I don't know if you can see it. We actually live near the second busiest airport in Maryland, and we're a small town. We're the second busiest because we have a lot of unrestricted airspace, and we're closest to DC with that unrestricted airspace. So we have the Naval Academy comes over and does a lot of their, turn this way, the students at the Naval Academy come over and do a lot of their testing, their practice and stuff like that. And we also have just a lot of the military bases that do the same thing because it's unrestricted airspace. So I apologize ahead of time. This summer's gonna be noisy. Last year they had, because of what had happened in the world, they had canceled that program for the academy, so it was a little bit quieter last year. Not so much this year. Anyway, I got zucchini here doing really well. This is a Black Beauty zucchini. Starting to set off some blossoms, and we should be getting fruit soon. I'm keeping an eye out for, we got ants, but for the squash bugs, I have not, I don't want to jinx it, I haven't seen any squash bug yet, but that doesn't mean that they're not here, so I'm just keeping an eye on it. Tomatillos, they're all looking really awesome. No fruit yet, but they're looking really good. And this is still the biggest one. And I say still, like you guys should have been able to see the videos, because in every video I've shot, here comes a loud truck, so. It's trash day too, and recycling day. In every video I have shot, I've shown the sizes differences with that one tomatillo plant. So hopefully I can get that issue figured out, and I can at least post them so they're maybe late videos. They're out of sequence, but they'll still be there. Here I have a Sun Gold cherry tomato. This is one of the newest additions that I rescued at 50% off this weekend. It's Artie the Artichoke and jalapeno, I believe. Yeah. As I said in some of the earlier videos, not all of my hot peppers did not germinate this year, so I went and bought them, and that's just what happens sometimes. It's not a big deal. Celery's looking good. Look at how big, you guys. I cannot, like, this amazes me, the size of these marigolds. These volunteered from last year. Oh, I just got to a broken stem. But this is like huge. It's at least, what, 2 inches across, 3 inches across. They're huge, and it's cool. I'm excited. We harvested all the broccoli. This is parsley, so I need to come and harvest some of that. Go back up here real quick. Volunteer tomato. This is my ancho pepper. I should say my ancho peppers are the only ones that I propagated, or that I sowed, that have survived. I'm thinking that these are broccoli that got misplanted, because that's the only thing that makes sense looking like that. Brussels sprouts are doing pretty well. I don't know if you can see the little buds starting down there. Yep, they're getting chewed on a little bit. I'm going to come out and check the leaves later tonight. I'll check the weather and see if I can get out here with some BT. That's between BT and hand picking. That's all I do. I don't put any chemicals or anything on anything in our garden, so anything in our yard actually. So green beans looking really good. We have harvested 3 times now off of this bed. I've gotten about 2 gallons so far. So yeah, and it's just started. I think the first harvest was about 2 weeks ago. These are Kentucky Wonder pole beans. Most of them are doing really well. See if that focuses. Can't see, there's a glare on my screen, so those will be setting. I think usually late June, early July is when my Kentucky Wonders start producing, typically. Onions, these are the Walla Walla onions. They're looking okay. I mean, I thought that they would get a little bit bigger. I have checked, some of the necks are kind of getting a little bit soft, but they're not like fall over yet soft. And I have carrots, the carrots mixed in. These are, I can't remember I have 5 different varieties, so I can't remember. These are the white onions. I got them from Dixondale Farms, so they're all storage type onions. We have had so much rain though, so I'm not sure if that's why, if that's causing them to not grow like they should, like they normally do. I don't know. We've like a lot of other people, we've had just an unbelievable amount of rain lately. So anyway, this bean trellis is actually all volunteer beans. Actually, it's all volunteer fruit, since I have some tomatoes volunteering in here too. It's a wild garden year, and I'm gonna go with it with the weather being the way it has been. All obviously from last year. They just decided that they wanted to grow again this year. I'm okay with that. Pretty little blossoms. One thing, and I'm gonna see if I can find one without squinting too much with the sun. I have noticed one thing on these volunteer plants. And I think I took a picture of it. If I did, I'll try to get it into the video. That I just showed you that white blossom. I have found yellow blossoms on this plant, on this trellis also. I didn't plant any other type of pole beans last year except for the Kentucky Wonder. This year I have several different varieties. Last year I didn't. I just did the Kentucky Wonders. So I'm not sure why some of the blossoms are white and some are yellow. I don't remember them being like that last year. But I'm definitely going to keep seeds from this trellis for next year, because from what I've heard, if you keep seeds that have overwintered in your area and survived, if you keep seeds off the plants that next year, that it acclimates them better to your region, so they grow better in your region. So that's my experiment for this year with that. These are the red onions. I need to come and spoon some of these. I think definitely, yes, it needs to be weeded. It's crazy with the weather, guys. You weed, you get 2 days of rain. You weed, you get 4 days of rain. It's hard to keep up with it this year, but we're doing the best we can, and that's all you can do. The plants will survive. It's not like if they touch one weed, they're done. Because in nature, that's what they do. So, some Marvel of 4 Seasons. I just planted a couple weeks ago. Some more volunteer tomatoes. Now, I'm not expecting that Marvel of 4 Seasons to do much of anything. I might just let it bolt and see what it tastes like. If it's bitter, because it's hot. I'm primarily trying to get some seeds off of it, so if it bolts, it's fine. And those volunteer tomatoes, if they're in my way this fall, they'll come out when I start doing my fall crops, like July, August. You know, they should have produced something by then, but if they're in the way, then they'll come out. Not a big deal. So this is the purple potted pole bean arch. It's looking pretty good. I don't know if you can see that. Probably can't with the light, but way up there. Way up there. So we're gonna head him back down. This side is obviously the better side. That side's the slower side. Just on this trellis, it looks like. We have taken a big chunk of the oregano out of here, and the entire lemon balm out. When I planted that lemon balm in there, I was not aware that it was so prolific, like it would spread so quickly and so largely. It's a big, beautiful plant, but I do have some in a container up on the deck, so I mean, I need my garden space, guys. This is the jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. You can see he's kind of got some blossoms starting in there, right there. I'm just gonna focus on him. I am trying an experiment to see if I can help deter the vine borers. This is medical stretchy tape that clings onto itself, that is used a lot for sports injuries and stuff. That's what that is. Trying to see if it helps keep them from digging in to the vines. I'm going to succession sow, not pumpkins, but my zucchinis and stuff. I'm actually starting some indoors this week for the next round for later in the summer. So a bag of potatoes. This is round red potatoes that I just got the bag at Walmart. So we're trying that. Corn and sunflowers in this bed, and it's patchy here because we had something digging up the corn there. This is smaller than that corn down there because it was planted just a few weeks ago. That was planted out. That was planted out like early May. So another new addition, this was another rescue at 50% off, is Harry the horseradish. Now you see Harry is in a pot by himself because I researched Harry, and apparently they're a lot like strawberries. They will just spread and spread and spread if you don't contain it. So Harry has his own home right now. They do not like to be transplanted though, apparently, after you plant them the first time. So there he stays. In the event he outgrows that, I think you can probably rescue it and move it at that point, but we'll see. These are my yellow squash here. This is a hybrid that I'm trying because we have so much issue with pest pressure for these. I want to try a couple different varieties to see. This is my lemon squash. It's smaller than these guys because I just started these by seed in the ground. Those were started ahead of time. This is the golden summer squash, crookneck squash from Haas Tools. There's another lemon squash back there looking pretty good. And this is the Ford Hook zucchini. And you see it has blossoms on it. Lemon boy tomato. Look at that. Look at that baby. Looking good. Looking good. These tomatoes, they're doing pretty well. These are Celebrities and Rutgers. Down to that next box right there. These are, and they have blossoms and fruit that are setting on them. As you can see, lots of blossoms. I need to come out. I haven't pruned these guys too heavily because they were pretty puny for a long time. And obviously I haven't fastened them up because they're pretty puny, but it looks like we're gonna have to fasten them up. Now, these guys, they're looking healthier than they did, but they're still very small. If you were around last year for our garden, guys, you remember that, or even the first tour, this is a new space for us. So as you can see, the shade, like there's still some shade here in the morning. We're kind of just winging it this year with putting stuff in here to see where the shade falls, what's going to grow better. It's kind of the experiment for the year. It's okay. Well, one of them. I experiment a lot. So this starts getting shade again. It's just cleared out of here. You can see it's just kind of creeping away right on the other side of the cattle panel. And I had to stop and wait for the traffic to clear. So it's a little bit later in the morning now. And that shade will start coming back in about 2-ish. There's something on my lens. Ooh. Spider web from the plant. So those may not do so well there, but live and learn. I mean, I have my whole big Amish tomato group over there, so these, I mean, I want to get stuff off of them, but if I don't get a lot, it's not a big deal. The jungle, that is the fruit for now. We have plans of revamping this. We're going to actually get a cattle panel this week for here. for temporarily to give this something to climb up on. Then we're going to revamp the whole area. When we started this, we had just like we had a fence here, and it was just a totally separate area. And you know, it's been a couple of years and things grow very well. Shelby is mad up there on the deck. Can you see him? So we have, I'm not going to go all the way through and bother you with it. This is all our strawberry bed, blackberries, and raspberries. And I think the plan is that for next year the strawberry bed are all going to go into green stalks, and we're going to revamp this whole area. We're going to wait till fall, obviously, because you don't want to take them if they're bearing fruit, because yeah. So look at all the berries though that we have coming on, just the raspberries alone. Like they're everywhere. So, and there's a garden spider. I don't know. Can you guys see it? Right there. The baby she ain't gonna be able to stay there long though, because we harvest those berries. The sweet peppers. Make my strap out of the way. Looking really good. We have it. Actually, a green pepper. All my sweet peppers I germinated, or I started from seed. Those are all looking really good, with the exception of this one. I found this one. It's a shosito pepper, and I wanted to try it, so I grabbed one to try, see if we like it. We have actually harvested several sweet banana peppers because the plants aren't that big, so we wanted to kind of get them off of there and give them a little bit of a break. But look at this carbachi. I'm like, do I leave it? Do I take it off? It's a conundrum, I tell you. So these are all Bella Rosa. We're gonna stake these up this week. Setting blossoms. Hopefully you can see that. So, and they're all the way down to the arch. I have kohlrabi planted in here, and parsnips down there, and experiments here. We have carrots planted in these spaces. Some of them germinated. I wasn't counting on them germinating. It was just kind of an experiment. Oh, now I got a bee buzzing me. Oh, look at, you can see it. It's a big old bumblebee on that. It's alright, go ahead, pollinate them. But they're looking a little bit rough down there, but they're starting to green up again, so they're gonna trellis up on the fence. That's the hope anyway. Birds flying everywhere, bees everywhere, traffic everywhere. This is my one sugar pie pumpkin, so if that one over there is indeed a sugar pie pumpkin, I'm okay. Candyland, if I can find it. Candyland tomato. These are my black cherry tomatoes. They're doing pretty well. Got some blossoms going. This is the other Candyland, well, one of the others I should say, that I bought this year to make sure that we had these tomatoes because they're such a big hit. You see all that fruit right there. Hopefully it's going to focus on it and not that branch. But anyway, it's just loaded with fruit. So I put it right here next to this so that when it does get to the point where it gets really big, I can just tie it for a little bit of support onto the trellis. My Market More cucumbers, doing really good. These are all the habanadas and nadapenos, or the heatless habanero, I should say, and the nadapenos, and mushrooms. We have mushrooms everywhere. National pickling cucumbers, looking really good, except for this one. Seems to be really popular with birds. Go figure. That's alright. This is a purple coneflower. Put in here just for pollinators. My dragon tail radish is bolted. One of them. These guys are bolted too. I don't know if I'll actually get anything off of them because these are the ones that put out like the pod at the end of it, like a big tail. So we'll see. Again, the Cherokee Trail of Tears. I have some turnips back here. Oh, the purple top turnips. That one's actually pretty huge. If I just get more seeds off of this one, I'm okay. It's not the end of the world. So if you see these 3 beds right here, those were where garlic was also. And the one closest to me, I have dragon tongue bush beans. The center one is royal burgundy bush beans, and then dragon tongue bush beans, and the third one there. So this is a Candyland tomato that I propagated. Well, that I saved seeds from the store-bought one last year, just to see if it would work because they were such a big hit. But I did hedge my bets by buying another plant to make sure that we had them this year, because everybody was very insistent that those were in the garden this year. And I'm not one that comes out and pops a cherry or pops a tomato in my mouth walking through the garden. That's just not my thing. But these I do, so they're really, really good. This monster is volunteer. Look how big, look how thick the stalks are on that. Like, they're huge. I don't know what kind it is though, because I did have a variety of tomatoes last year. Not here. All of these tomatoes are volunteer, except for that Candyland. And I didn't have any tomatoes here last year. So this, it looks like a mess. There's weeds, yes. This is our walkway. But I popped in some scarlet runner beans to see what they would do in the mulch, because it's just, when we put this down, it's just the wood mulch. So, and they apparently are okay with it. Shelby's photobombing over there and they're getting excited. So it's just this section of them. So I just wanted to see what they would do. So what we wanted to, if you do nothing else with your garden, please yourself. If you want to try something, try it. If someone says, oh, that won't work, just, if you want to try it, try it. That's their opinion, and maybe it won't work. Maybe it won't. But it's just a few seeds in some of your time. It doesn't hurt for you to try it. I'm very pro that. People say, well, you can't grow that next to that or that with that. I don't listen to that. Excuse me. I do my own thing. This is my garden. It's not anybody else's. I'm not giving anybody unsafe practices. Now, you know, if it were like canning or something, then I totally do not go rogue with that. I follow the rules with that. But because there's a potential to make somebody sick. What's the potential here is that you're going to lose some plants. Not the end of the world in the grand scheme of things. So that's my advice to you if you're just starting out gardening, or if you're just not sure of all the stuff. I don't necessarily follow the guidelines where people say, you know, when people are talking about like rotation or crop rotation and stuff like that. I've grown my tomatoes the last 2 years in those areas so far with no problem. Actually, the last 3 years with no problem. Excuse me. This camera's kind of heavier than what I'm used to. I've grown my beans in the same place with no problems. We've grown potatoes in the same place. Now we've added a couple beds for the potatoes because with no problem. Just don't let other people influence you. If you want to try something, try it. And there goes another plane. I'm telling you. It's a Monday. Anyway, so the last of the Candyland tomatoes, this is another one that I started. It's got some nice blossoms on there. Look at these clusters of blossoms. I don't know if this will do it justice, but like there's just so many. So that's a good sign. And this is what, excuse me, this is what it looks like when you're starting out. Look at those, all those clusters. Thai basil that's gone to seed, which is okay. And another Candyland tomato that I started. So we'll see how that all goes. I'm hoping that this camera works. I'm hoping that I can upload this video. I have tried the last several weeks to get those videos uploaded. I'm still going to see if I can do anything to correct the issue. I'm sweating, guys. It's like humid out here. So that maybe they can just get up at some point, even if they're out of order. This camera keeps shutting off. They keep stopping. It's a brand new camera. I don't understand why it keeps stopping the filming. But anyhow, what I was saying was that hopefully I can get those other videos uploaded and the camera issues are over with. But if this one keeps shutting off and I'm not looking at the screen, it's kind of hard to say that they are, but it is what it is, whatever. So I'm gonna this may actually have a time limit on it. Now that I think about it, I'll have to check and see. This is my first video using this camera, so I literally just got it, and it's much heavier than what I'm used to, so I apologize if it's swaying a lot. And now the fire siren's gone off. I'm going to try to get back to my videos. Hopefully it's weather and my schedule and the technology. Hopefully they all like decide that they're going to play nice together and I can get it done more often. I am looking at putting up some canning videos. Getting photobombed by everything today. I do only follow the safe practice, like the tested recipes through Ball or the National Canning program. Can't think of that acronym right now. I don't go rogue on that. I might go rogue on planting my food, but I don't go rogue on preserving it. One, because the most important thing is because I don't want anybody to get sick from it. The second important thing is that I don't want to waste the food that I've worked so hard to harvest and grow and all that other fun stuff. So, because this is what we do. We are in a suburb. We can't have livestock, so we can't have chickens. But they can't stop me from having a garden in my backyard. So this is what I do. This is how I help my family. We preserve as much as we can. We cut down our costs as much as we can. Even though, you know, we have a furnace like most people do, but we have a wood burning fireplace, so we burn as much, you know, during the cold weather as we can. And it helps. We've noticed significant drops in the bills and stuff, so that's nice. And we just do as much as we can. We reuse, we recycle, we just try to do the best we can with what we have. And if you're in a similar situation, just do it. You know, I mean, we're dependent on people for meat, but we're dependent on local farmers. So we support small. We don't go to, I don't buy meat at the, you know, big box stores. If you have to do that though, that's fine. I'm just saying, if we don't, that's what we choose to do. We buy meat in bulk, so that saves a lot. If you're looking at that, I mean, it's not a big chunk up front, but if you have the ability to have freezers and stuff, it saves you so much money. So in the long run, but just do what you can, guys. Don't worry about keeping up with everybody else and doing things exactly as everybody else does it. Just do your best to do what you can. If you don't already follow us on Facebook and Instagram, it's Cover's Corner Suburban Homestead for both platforms, as it is for the YouTube channel. I post there, I try to post there daily to both of those platforms. So there you'll see more of like the harvest pictures and stuff like that. So, and if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I hope that you will click that subscribe button, hit the bell icon for when new videos are uploaded, and hopefully those will be happening more frequently now that we got this thing set on. Hopefully fixed. And like this video, guys, and most importantly, if you could share this with your friends and family or anybody that you think may be interested in this gardening journey. I appreciate it.